With the massive amount of success Blizzard had with Overwatch, it's not entirely surprising that some derivative works, we'll call them, began to come out. Earlier this year, we did take a look at one of those very games called Hero Mission. We had just seen some early images and a trailer for this game, and it was blatantly obvious just in that small amount how much of a clone you could call this, and how much of almost a ripoff you could call it. Well, since then, a whole bunch of new footage has hit the web, and we've gotten some gameplay footage and a closer look at some of the heroes and abilities in this game, and it is becoming all the more evident that this is a very much so a ripoff, a clone of Overwatch being brought to mobile devices, which I guess has its own merits, but I just thought it was kind of interesting and wanted to take a closer look here in this video. So again, the game is called Hero Mission, and what's most striking, I think, for starters, is how similar the characters look and how much so they feel like just cheap ripoffs of Overwatch heroes. For example, we've got Mercy with a bigger gun and slightly less clothing. We also have a female McCree with slightly less clothing. That's gonna be a theme throughout. For whatever reason, there's a Stormtrooper in this game, because I guess if you're in the business of ripping off other companies, why not rip off Star Wars? Hello, Diva. There's Reinhardt with dreadlocks. I guess this is supposed to be Lucio. Here's Winston if he were a panda. This is Roadhog and Mad Max as if they had a baby. There's a Hanzo equivalent. Here's a sniper decked in purple. That's familiar. There's also the generic soldier guy, which, you know, to be fair, Blizzard wasn't very inventive in Soldier 76, but I digress. Now, these are just the looks, the characters, but what about the abilities? Well, I have to say, after seeing some of this gameplay, they are eerily similar. So, first off, here's a new map. It's clearly inspired by Hanamura, and hello, Reinhardt. In this gameplay footage, we see Hanzo using what appears to be Dragon Strike, except for instead of Spirit Dragons, looks like it's just a giant fireball. Now on to female McCree, who has, as you expect, Fan the Hammer, a dodge roll, and the ultimate is quite literally Deadeye, except she crosses her arms exactly like Reaper does. Mercy has Guardian Angel and a healing beam, as well as the blaster to attack with. The character that's modeled after Diva, interestingly enough, appears to have Lucio's gun, but her ultimate is her, what I'm assuming, singing a dope-ass song and probably doing some healing within this aura. And then here's Widowmaker with her 3-tier charge gun, and I guess she also has Somra's translocator. It's pretty obvious just looking at these clips. It's not only the character models that are near identical but cheaper feeling versions of Overwatch heroes, but their abilities are pretty much in line as well. And you could come to me and you could say, well, Force, abilities in character hero action games, shooter or otherwise, there tends to be a lot of crossover, and it's true. Characters with a hook like Roadhog have been in many other games, MOBAs in particular. In fact, you look at MOBAs and there's a ton of crossover in the abilities in the MOBAs that are popular, Dota and League of Legends being two of the biggest, and some of the stuff that you do see in Overwatch. But I think it's the combination of the clear ripoff feeling, cheap version of the way the heroes look, plus their abilities almost being identical as well, which just makes me go from, this doesn't feel like derivative inspired work, this feels like an attempt to cash in on the success of Overwatch by ripping it as closely as possible. And again, there is merit to the fact that it's coming to tablets, it's going to be a mobile game, and that's something that Overwatch can't take claim to. So, I guess there is something in that, and it's obviously going to be a cheaper, if not free version. I'm not sure what the cost of barrier to entry for this game is. There's some merit to that as well. I think it's just funny to look at this and kind of laugh at the clear, again, inspiration, ripoff, whatever have you. There's going to be plenty of people who make arguments for it, and I can see and understand that. And I also fully agree that pretty much all of gaming and game development is iterative. It's building on the success and the ideas of things that came before. We can't look at Overwatch and say any one thing about it is particularly unique. They've just crafted interesting characters and an interesting world, but a lot of those characters have clear inspiration from other things, and a lot of their abilities have been in many other games as well. It's just usually it's not as blatant as it is here in Hero Mission. All right, guys. Well, that does it for me here today, taking a look at the, what I would call, ripoff of Overwatch, Hero Mission. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Have a good one, and until next time, I'll see you later.